Sun, beaches, and Latin-inspired flavors are what people around the world call their vacation paradise. We call it home. Welcome to the weekly podcast that captures it all. The Scoop on Miami. Let's discover and rediscover Miami together with Ernie Emad, a 54-year resident of the Magic City, and Miami native Lainey Rada on the Scoop on Miami. And now, here's Ernie Emad and Lainey Rada.
Welcome to another episode of the Scoop on Miami, live a couple minutes late as we add more technology and more little buzz things. So I want to first get started by saying thank you. We've had over 500 engagements over the last few days on our Facebook page, and we are just so delighted that you're engaging with the Scoop on Miami and that you're spending time every Friday at 1 o'clock to join us. This is week number 8, episode number 8. It's amazing. My name is Ernie Emad.
I'm Lainey Rada.
And welcome aboard. Today we are going to try to do a little bit of everything. We're going to entertain you. We're going to have plenty of laughs, and we're going to have you put on your tourist caps because we really want you to come with this journey and go around Miami like a tourist. And that takes us right into some of our guests. So we want to make sure that you fasten your seatbelt, that you put your hands in, feet inside until we say that the vehicle has come to a complete stop, and really kind of doze off and daydream as we travel through Miami. We're going to have Big Bus Miami, and the Vice President and General Manager, Fernando Tobin Brandt, will be with us, and we're excited to hear everything about. I always take some of these tour buses when I travel. This way I know where to carry all my gear to take the pictures. So I go around with my cell phone, and then I know exactly what spots I want to go on.
I do the same thing.
Absolutely. And also today, and again, just think of it for the kids, it's like a field trip that we're taking today on the Scoop on Miami. Also joining us today is comedian Manny Garavito, and Manny Garavito is the founder of MiamiComedy.com. He's a comedy promoter, and if you've attended any of the stand-up comedy shows and venues here in South Florida, most likely Manny had his hand in promoting and booking those talented comedians. And he runs and is the founder of MiamiComedy.com. He's going to be joining us along with who?
Flemmy the Flamingo.
Flemmy the Flamingo. We're going to introduce Skype through here as opposed to just a telephone interview, so you're going to get to see him run wild with his show, which we're excited about, that's for sure. So today, like we said, is week number 8 of the program, and it is always every week. It is sponsored by Lainey Rada, who is a leading-edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman, and myself, Ernie Emad, the broker owner of One Premier International. And Lainey and I are always available to take your call. You can always go to scooponmiami.com and contact us there. We get started every single week with an inspirational quote. Do you have one for us today?
Are you ready? I found this one. It says, "Failure is success if we learn from it," from Malcolm Forbes. And I think that's a lot to think about in these times.
It's a great tie-in. You know, last week's inspirational quote was a really, I think, important. As we enter the post-COVID, many people are going to be making some changes in their lives. And I know my motto at my office is embrace change. And this is one of the times when we are going to be embracing some change. And I think it's all very good. Last week his quote was, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I always tell my daughters that all the time. Just get started. Once you get started, it's amazing how seas part, mountains move, and if you're passionate about something, things go well.
Just like Moses.
So today's Miami Rewind, which is a special segment of the 2 great segments that we have every week that everybody comments about it. And we take you back when something got started here in Miami. What do we have today?
We have a big, giant No, wait. Okay, the Rewind is about.
It's about right down the block.
Yes, it's
Absolutely.
it was right around the corner from here, but it's not there anymore. So you'll have to use your imagination if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it was a huge building.
Absolutely. So right now, why don't we go to the Miami Rewind from Lainey Rada.
It's time to take a look back with Lainey Rada. Miami Rewind.
There was a massive Mediterranean revival building at 1500 Douglas Road. George Merritt called it the Miami Coliseum. The location is on a border between Coral Gables and the city of Miami. It was intended to be a cultural center. It was to hold meetings, concerts, operas, sporting events, and large conventions. Miami News has photos of the construction in 1927, and the community was looking forward to it. In 1926, Miami experienced the Great Miami Hurricane and the real estate bust. But it still came to be because of the faith and perseverance of the people. It finally opened in November of 1927. Thomas Edison and Herbert Hoover sent their congratulatory telegrams. The opening was standing room only, with thousands of prominent people inside and hundreds of people outside. The bold ambition for the building was never fully realized. It was scarcely used in the 1930s. The property was used by the military in the 1940s for aviation training. After the war, in 1947, the University of Miami began to use it as a sports arena for the school's home games. More sports were enjoyed, from wrestling, boxing, to roller derbies, and an ice skating rink. In 1956, the bowling alley became the popular use for the next 22 years. My junior high and surrounding schools used to go there every week for physical education class day to bowl. I remember we had to get our parents' permission. My friends and the neighborhood kids have great memories of those days. Their recollections of pin patches for high scores, playoff winners in tournaments, youth programs from other neighborhoods, one friend whose first job was a porter there, and PBA competitions. After all that school-age fun, the Coliseum became a gym named Sports Rooms in 1978. More fun and memories with the greatest racquetball courts. I do remember it always looked kind of run down outside, but I loved the scale of it. Inside and out, it was huge. You always felt the expansiveness of the space the minute you entered the door. The building was demolished in 1993. They say this was for the community's shifting needs, and now there's an apartment building and a grocery store there. No matter what, it gave great satisfaction and memories to the community for 66 years. Memories last a lifetime. That's the scoop.
The Miami Coliseum. You know, I have a special memory about the Coliseum because I started after high school. I worked at a bowling alley, and I know that the owner of that bowling alley, Jimmy Facenti, would kill me for calling it a bowling alley because it was a little more upscale, and we wanted to call it a bowling center. And so I was around when the mechanics of the bowling center dismantled the bowling center or the bowling alley at the Coliseum. And I actually have somewhere in my attic an old pin from the Coliseum bowling alley.
It should be here. We should have it on the show.
We should, but you know, who knows where in the attic it was, and I didn't know you were doing this segment until just yesterday, so it would have been a great thing to have. The other thing was that after the bowling center, the Coliseum became sport rooms, which was a kind of like a gentleman's racquetball club.
Well, I was there, so I don't know how much gentlemen's.
Well, it changed. Then they opened it up to the public, and so it was the only way I could get a job there was the midnight racquetball shift. So I worked from midnight to 4 in the morning, cleaning towels and doing everything that it took. And within 3 months, I became their accounts receivables manager. So got to meet all of the wonderful people that ran it, and the person that signed the lease there was Tim Foley, and I got a chance to meet Tim Foley. So it's got great history. Unfortunately, it's
not there anymore.
Progress took care of it, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. What else do you have?
Oh, I wanted to say I've won an Instagram contest with a very well-known graffiti artist named Chor Boogie, and he sent me this print. You want to hold the other side of it?
I do want to hold the other side of it.
Because it's so bright and big and pretty.
Oh my goodness, can we see
That's
it?
one
Yes,
of his
you can.
signature drawings that he uses. So.
Looks like penguins.
Well, there's some kind of birds, right?
Yeah.
They're cute. And he signed it for
Oh
me.
my
and
goodness, what's
and
the
he
name
sent
of
it
the
to my
artist again?
house, Chore Boogie. So that was really exciting for me. It was really fun.
You can repeat that name. I didn't quite catch I got the boogie part, but not.
Chore Boogie. Chore Boogie.
Hey, fantastic. That's a beautiful thing. Look, when we come back to the Scoop on Miami, we are going to have the Big Bus Miami. And we're excited about that segment. That's coming up in just a couple minutes from now on the Scoop on Miami.
I'm Lainey Rada, a leading edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman. I have over 35 years of experience in market cycles to bring to every transaction, and I'm still alive. When you want to see how I sell 85% of my listings and the average agent sells 40%, we need to talk. I break records, the fastest sale, the most offers, the highest price per square foot. Which one do we want to accomplish? My company includes superior quality marketing to enhance your property and the worldwide exposure, which matters in Miami. If you want to buy, I'm a Miami native. I know the area extremely well. Put my negotiating skills to work. I'm the only Lainey Rada in the world, so it's easy to find me. But I'll help you. My phone number is 305-710-8558. That's 305-710-8558. Let's set up a time to talk.
What started as a grassroots organization is now celebrating its 25th anniversary with an army of over 2,500 volunteer and donor members that have helped over 100,000 stray and abandoned cats and adopted out over 15,000 cats and kittens. Let's make South Florida a no-kill community together. How? By joining the Cat Network to help homeless cats by getting out the word of the importance of spay and neuter while finding homes for these adorable cats and kittens. But wait, we can't do it alone. We need animal lovers like you to become a volunteer in many ways or get your teens involved with a lifelong rewarding experience with our Teen Volunteer Program. Do you help community cats? The Cat Network offers low-cost spay and neuter options for you. Look out for our Meowmobile spay and neuter unit traveling around the county. For more information or to get involved, call 305-255-3482. That's 305-255-3482, or go online to thecatnetwork.org and donate today.
We're back with more of the Scoop on Miami. Find our podcast on iTunes and on YouTube as a video, our Facebook page, and thescooponmiami.com. While there, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. And now, here's Ernie Enad and Lainey Rada.
Welcome back. We are having some technical issues, and sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, and we are trying to correct all of the technical issues that we're having. But the podcast is going to sound great because we always have backup audio for you. So right now we have the people from the Big Bus Tour in Miami. And we're going to get them going in just 1 second. And we are trying to correct all of the technical issues that we're having.
Welcome to Big Bus Miami. Hop on board the open-top double-decker bus and head off to discover Miami's iconic South Beach and historic downtown. Take the beach loop and head over MacArthur Causeway to explore Ocean Drive
It's on the
with its
delay.
distinctive Art Deco
The only way I
buildings,
could do it
world-famous
was,
beachfront, and renowned bars and restaurants. Or take the City Loop and discover the shops of Coconut Grove, the beauty of Coral Gables, and the cultural charm of Little Havana. As you travel through Miami, you'll be entertained by the Big Bus Guides. These local experts will share their knowledge and enthusiasm for the city with you. Discover the history of the buildings and landmarks, Be entertained with Miami stories and get insider tips on what to see and visit. The guides will be happy to answer any questions you have. Alternatively, use the complimentary headphones and listen to a recorded commentary in the language of your choice. As you wind your way through the city, hop off and visit some of Miami's popular attractions. On the beach loop, take time to enjoy the world-famous beachfront. Stroll along the colorful Ocean Drive, or relax with an exotic cocktail in one of Miami's legendary bars or restaurants. On the City Loop, hop off to explore the historic Vizcaya Museum and Gardens. Discover the beautiful Venetian pool and experience authentic Caribbean culture in Little Havana. Spend as much time as you like in each destination, then hop on the next bus to continue your tour. Start your tour at any of the big bus stops, at whatever time suits you. Choose either a 24 or 48-hour ticket, giving you plenty of time to explore the city. The Beach Loop and City Loop connect at downtown Miami's Bayfront Park. This is also the boarding point for the Biscayne Bay Boat Cruise, which you can add to your ticket. Whichever part of Miami excites you, whether it's the elegance of Coral Gables, the thrilling views of downtown as you cross the causeway, or the opportunity to enjoy Miami's famous beachfront, let Big Bus reveal the real Miami to you. Discover the magic city with Big Bus Miami.
Okay, so joining us right now is the Vice President and General Manager for Big Bus Miami, and his name is Fernando Tobin Brandt.
Can you hear us, Fernando?
Yes, I can.
Oh, perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us today, for being on the Scoop on Miami. Hey, Miami. That's okay. Hola, Miami. It's a perfect segue to you anyways, correct.
Yeah.
Look, no one can miss the double-decker buses, no matter where you are at, whether in South Florida or anywhere across the country. Tell us a little bit about the history of Big Bus. How did it get started?
Thank you very much, Danny and Nani, and good afternoon to all the listeners. So Big Bus is it started as a very small in London with only 3 buses about 26 years ago. From that, then we kind of started expanding, and then we went to Paris, then Middle East, and then 5 years. Just in the past 5 years, we just expanded, just sprawled around the world. So today we are in 23 cities around the world. Been in Miami for about 11 years now. And since 2012 as actually Big Bus Miami. So our what we do and as you said, it is quite difficult to miss it. I mean, you cannot miss a big double-decker bus going around, right?
No, it's great. And plus they're red. Yeah, it always reminds me of London. So I was curious about that.
Absolutely.
So what, sir?
How many people can fit on these buses?
We have different types of service that we do. We're expanding in Miami as well. So our double-decker buses, open tops, they fit between 50 to 70 people. And of course, we have other service. So now we just launched a tour to Everglades, and we just recently purchased a bus that fits 82 people. So it depends, what kind of big bus you're getting on.
I noticed people sit in the top a lot, and it's a great,
They
it's a
sit in
great
the top
city.
a lot.
Yeah, it's a great city to see from the top of a double-decker bus, isn't it?
I have to say, I have been with Big Bus now for 11 years and over 4 operations. So in London, Budapest, in Hungary, Vienna in Austria, and here. And the colors of Miami is what fascinates me. At night and during the day, even the bike lanes are painted green. It's so bright for it. It's amazing. Yes, you're right.
Nice.
It's the perfect way to see it, right?
Yeah, and I think people like to get the sunshine, because they come from all these other places and don't have our weather.
That's a funny one because in here we have to supply, to some of our guests with the sunscreen because it just gets too hot.
Yes.
Some of our customers, I mean, 30% of them are actually Europeans, and they're not very used to this term, so they get quite burned on the top. But nothing that a sunscreen would not help.
So let me ask you, what are the hours? Obviously, what phase of reopening is Big Bus on?
So now we have plans. I mean, especially with these guidelines that were delivered yesterday. So we have some thoughts of mid-June, between mid-June and early July to be reopening. The hours of work we should be thinking of between 9 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And of course, before we used to run buses every 20 minutes. When we reopen, we're going to be looking at running buses every sort of panoramic tours to start with, because we have to clean the buses every time they come around. They have to inspect it. They have sanitizers and so on. So, but that's what we're looking for, like between mid-June and early July.
Are your prices going to change at all, or are you going to continue with the same pricing?
No, we're going to change. We're going to do a welcome price.
Oh, beautiful.
And
Wonderful.
for the first period, so we're going to have all kids go free. So bring your kids along and jump on a bus.
Hey, please do, because we're always here that live in Miami, going from work to the home, back and forth, and it's a wonderful way to really rediscover Miami. I believe so.
Can you book a private party?
Sure, yes. You can, for private party, we have bus you can hire for the day. You can hire for 3 hours, 4 hours for the entire day. And that's your bus with the guide and goes wherever you tell us to do, or we can, tailor your tour if you wish.
Maybe we can coordinate a Scoop on Miami tourist bus excursion.
That would be great.
That would be fantastic.
Do they give the
That
tours?
would be great. We can do this.
No, so go ahead.
Yeah, we can do the show on the top of the bus, right?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, we would love it.
Absolutely. You're not kidding.
Because I love to show off this place. I was wondering if you have tours in different languages.
We do. We have tours in 6 different languages, so they are audio commentary. So they updated every year, but now we're working on a new recorded commentary, which is going to be the new age, which is sort of going to be like this show, which is there'll be some interaction between the customers and the commentary. We're working on it.
Perfect.
Let me ask you, is there a memorable or funny story that you can tell us?
I think the memory and the greatest story for Big Bus that I've taken part of is actually Miami. When we started to work with Channel 10, and we did the Big Bus Toy Express. So it started about 3 years ago. It didn't get much traction in the beginning. It was difficult to move around because we had so many toys to collect, right? Mm-hmm. And last year we did it, and we had the support of the whole community, and we had the police officers, tailing us and opening spaces for us to get to the next spot to collect toys, and we managed to raise over 20,000 toys in November. So to me, that was it.
Fantastic.
That was put together by the late Todd Tongan, correct?
That's correct.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
Yeah, he's dearly missed in South Florida because he always was very involved with the community. No question about that.
Great. Oh, that's such a good story. Thank you.
Let me ask you, do you know of any of the words that some of the tour guides use? Do you learn the speeches, or it's just for the tour guides? And where do you find these people?
Oh, the scripts.
Yeah, the scripts.
That's a very interesting one. I mean, we have people that already been in the business for a while, doing tours by themselves, and so and they come to us and they work with us. And regardless, if you're very passionate about Miami, we also have an in-house training that we get guides from different parts of America and come to Miami, and we do this 2-week course, and then you're ready to go on the bus. Also, a few weeks ago, I've been in contact with Miami-Dade College, and they're going to start a course for guides, and we're probably going to partner them in the future to get all of those students on the bus as well.
Oh, so much good information.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We want to
No,
thank
that's
you.
all right. My pleasure.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about to promote your business?
No, apart from that, we're looking very much forward to continue to showcase the city, to everybody that comes here. And we wish that in probably like in a few months, we'll be back to normal and everything is going to be great for the tourism in Miami.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
I'm glad. Yeah, we all hope the same.
Absolutely. And we know, summertime is great, but the winter is even better for tourists. So we're
That's
looking
right.
forward for
I
the
think
complete.
we are.
Yep. Go ahead.
Sorry, I think we are. We in Miami, I think we are very. We're gonna have a very good winter season overall in tourism.
Absolutely. I agree with that, especially with all the pent-up demand of people being locked up. They want to get out and get out safely. That's for sure.
That's indeed, and to probably a tropical weather, right?
Yes, always.
We can't beat that. We didn't have a say in that, but we're fortunate and very lucky to live in Miami and South Florida.
Thank you, Fernando. It's been really nice getting to know you, and thank you for being on the show and contributing and sharing all your information with your great company.
You bet, and we look forward to doing the Scoop on Miami on one of your buses, and to continue to promote Miami and Big Bus. So thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Great. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Be safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Be safe.
Still to come on the Scoop on Miami is the 305's hidden treasure. Still considering coming on our show? Hear what our guests have to say about us.
Hi, good afternoon. First of all, I just want to start by saying that was a beautiful segment, very well done. Thank you. Very, very nice and very active. Thank you so much for celebrating the ball and chain and highlighting.
Thank you so much.
The Cayocho story. Bernie and Laney, I just want to thank you guys for everything you're doing for the community and the podcast. I know it's just a fantastic job that you guys are doing. And I know that you're doing this right out of the bottom of your heart to promote small business and Miami business and Miami in general. And it's such wonderful. It's so wonderful to be here with you today. I mean, here you are doing all this, and never once have you come up to me or any of the, I guess, all the other people and asked for anything. You're just doing it for the community to get out there, to get the YouTube channel going, and it's just fantastic work. So thank you so much.
Those are the nice comments that we have received, and we want to thank Bill Fuller. He's from Ball and Chain, and the second voice that you heard was Michael Warner from Pittman Photo Supply.
Absolutely, and we love their segments. We love their story and their history, and we wanted to give a quick shout out on who they were.
Keep broadcasting their business for them.
You bet. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Manny Garavito from MiamiComedy.com, and we're planning a big comeback once this whole pandemic thing gets blown over. Visit MiamiComedy.com/comeback to contribute, and I also want to point out that we're looking for sponsors for venues, restaurant owners, anything in hospitality that offers delivery for an online virtual dating show that we're starting. If you're interested in sponsoring our event, we're planning on giving away gift cards as well as mentioning your business to the people that are going to be joining us on the Zoom call. And best of all, they're going to be trying out your food live on the show. And for those that are local that love to laugh, be sure to tune in to the IGTV live every single day on our Instagram account at Miami Comedy, where you are the guest. Every day we reach out to the locals and we start talking about anything you want. You can direct the conversation any way you'd like. So once again, Instagram.com/Miami Comedy. Join in on the podcast.
With hundreds of brokerages, thousands of agents. Cut through all the noise. One premier international realty, real estate brokerage located in Coral Gables, the old-fashioned way, putting people first. Buying, selling, or leasing residential and commercial properties in Miami-Dade, Broward, and Monroe counties. One Premier International provides each customer a high level of service and communication experience with full-time agents from around the world, bringing their unique sense of business skills and a foreign customer base. One Premier International Realty. You've heard of private banking. Now experience private brokerage. A higher level of service and knowledge. One Premier International Realty. 305-669-0233 or go online to www.onepremierinternational.com.
Laney, I just want to thank you guys for everything you're doing for the.
We're back with more of the Scoop on Miami. Find our podcast on iTunes and on YouTube as a video, our Facebook page, and the scooponmiami.com. While there, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. And now, here's Ernie Enac and Lainey Rada.
Hello there. We have Manny Garavito, the mastermind behind MiamiComedy.com. Good afternoon to you, Manny.
Hey, Ernie. Hey, Lainey. It's great to be here.
Hi.
Fantastic. We're very happy to see you here, and we're having some technical difficulties as this is the first time that I try to do a Skype call.
You're doing great, Ernie.
So thank you so much. And I want to know a little bit about your story. I think it's a great story. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, I started in a corporate career in banking. I was selling high-end loans for about a decade of my life, and I wasn't happy. So I let my creative juices flow late at night. I'd go do open mics in Miami and perform in front of live audiences. And by live audiences, I mean 2 or 3 at 1 a.m. And I busted my chops. I went through a lot. And then one day I woke up, I went to work, and I said, I'm going to dedicate my life to this comedy thing. And I jumped into the comedy career. It was kind of risky to leave my the safety of a job. But I was dedicated. And then quickly I became a starving artist. So I had to figure out, okay, this wasn't a good idea. But thankfully, I was getting a degree in marketing at FIU. And then I kind of started pursuing, learning kind of what marketers are doing online to really get a business growing, in front of, because we have so much access. And I'm online more than I am on stage. Right. So I figured I might as well learn. Mm-hmm. And then I started MiamiComedy.com. And, the next few years after doing that, it kind of just took off. I got on publications. I was in a documentary called Respect the Light, that covers the whole journey on Amazon Prime. And, everything kind of just made a big difference when I really dedicated learning marketing and applying it to comedy.
Beautiful.
That's great to hear. I'm sure that's going to help a lot of people that follow you.
Let me ask you, how much stand-up do you do now?
During the pandemic?
Well, just prior to the pandemic. I know that we're going to cover what you're doing because you're live twice a day, and we want to promote that venture as well. But how long do you currently do much stand-up yourself, or you're really spending most of your time promoting all the great talent that we have here in South Florida?
Well, the same way that we're able to go on stage, we can go online and do the same thing. So comedians, not only across the nation, but here locally, we've been getting very creative to continue getting stage time. Comedy involves a lot of creativity. So we've been able to do things like virtual. I've seen Villain Theater doing virtual shows. I've seen fellow comedians here going on Zoom calls and making improvisation acts, and it's very thriving here locally as well as nationally. However, in my case, we have to keep going up on stage any way we can. So I decided to jumpstart my podcast, and instead of doing it weekly, I'm now doing it daily on Instagram Live. And I kind of just talk to the people that love to laugh here locally, and we talk about topics that they bring up, and then we kind of just riff and make jokes. And I started a GoFundMe, and it's been going great. I kind of feel like I'm more connected to the comedy community here in Miami than ever before.
That's wonderful, because I believe in that. I believe that we need to collaborate more, and we need to come together more for all of us to be successful.
Yes, and that's how we found you, is because you're online. You pop up on my Instagram feed all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be in front of people as much as I can, especially those that love to laugh. I mean, there's nothing better than having a sense of humor, Lainey.
I know it's gotten me through a lot of things.
Especially now, like during the pandemic, a sense of humor is very, very much appreciated by anyone.
Right.
You're not kidding, and we really want to give you a little bit of a time to do a little monologue for us and let it rip. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we cover everything that you need to get out as we move into the post-pandemic. It's really nice that at least phase 1 in Miami-Dade County and Broward begins on Monday, with restaurants being at 50% capacity. And I know that you offer services to be able to draw crowds, specifically during slow nights and everything. So tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about that part of your business.
Okay, well, once I started really learning marketing and putting it online, I started a lot of businesses. So comedy is now a subsidiary of my marketing career. So I'm able to jumpstart like an online business in pretty much 24 hours, building a website, social media presence, and building an audience of people that agree with the vision. So when it comes to the comedy part of my marketing, what I like doing is I like partnering up with venues so that we can collaborate and bring communities together so that we can laugh and share a drink. So because of the current situation with COVID, I've decided to come up with the idea where, as a host of a dating show, it would be a lot of fun to see the locals kind of going on dates together through Zoom calls while people are watching.
I love this idea.
To kind of see how the guys are acting with the ladies and vice versa.
Wow.
And then so
there's going to be lots to laugh about after that.
We remember the dating game, right? So this is wonderful.
Exactly. Just like the dating game. And we can give feedback. We can kind of play Cupid maybe and kind of like give advice and see, ask the audience, oh, how's the day going so far? And you can provide all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Let me ask you, do you take it
too much fun with that? That's great.
Do you take it to the next level where you let the audience pick the date for them?
Yeah. And what I want to do is not only can they pick the date, but maybe they can pick like the topics they can talk amongst each other and kind of like make it as taboo as possible to kind of see if the honesty comes out. Yeah. And that's always fun to witness.
You're not kidding, especially if it's live and in real time. It puts people on their toes. That seems to be. Where can people watch this?
So right now it's still in my head.
Hey.
I just got a DM reply because I'm waiting to partner with a venue. So anyone in hospitality that's listening to this, if you deliver, we're looking to partner up with a restaurant or any sort of delivery service that offers dining so that we can provide you sponsorship benefits where you can not only provide the food for the people, they can review it during the day, but also you can give something like $5 to all the attendees that we bring in, and they'll use the $5 at your establishment, and then they can try out your go-to orders.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
And so that's one thing that you have a lot of great things to contribute to the community. You have this, what is it, MiamiComedy.com comeback? Is that? Yeah,
so the comeback is a GoFundMe page that I've been working on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If anyone can contribute anything they want, and I know, times are tough, so, donating to a comedian probably isn't a financially good thing to do sometimes, especially now. But if you could just share it, I mean, it's perfectly fine to anybody that's a little more, I'd say, affluent during these times, because I totally understand, every dollar counts. But you can put in $1, $5, $10. But if you donate 20, which thankfully the majority of the people that follow the podcast have, and a lot more, they're very generous. I actually send them a T-shirt, with shipping and handling already included, direct to their door, and they actually wear it and send me photos of it. So it's very nice to see.
That's perfect.
That is perfect.
You've thought of everything. Good for you.
Yeah, it works. I'm actually very fortunate to have, I wouldn't even say fans. I'd say friends that support me in the comedy here locally.
That's Fantastic. A nice way to put it.
So how about a little gig? How about a little monologue of some of your best stuff for us?
No, this is not. First of all, I just want to say, Ernie, that this is not how stand-up comedy works. You can't just say like, "Hey, so now that there's no audience here, why don't you give us something?"
Hey, there's audience. There's for sure there's audience.
It's supposed to be spontaneous. You're supposed to invoke it. Hey, Manny, what do you think about this? Well, here's what I think about it, and then you go on a rant. But if you say, "Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, and make us laugh."
Hey, Manny, what do you think about this?
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot me something.
All right, you got it.
One thing I'll start. Let's go ahead and rant. You know, one thing I really like about the pandemic here locally in Miami. Have you seen the traffic?
Oh,
What
yeah.
a blessing.
Yes, my favorite.
I've
thing.
never seen Miami so quiet in my life. And to be honest, there's a cynical side of me that actually wants it to last a little bit longer while I go run my errands. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Just during that hour, you know?
Me too. I'm with that every day. It's paradise.
So how about the masks?
I got in trouble the other day, Ernie. I'm not gonna lie. Here's a story. I never really shared this. Well, I think I did with the podcast. So I was out delivering a shirt. I went to the mail, and a police. I don't follow the news, Ernie. Like, I can care less about it, because to be honest, why stress yourself, right? When people say it's over, it's over. So just do what you got to do, right? So I'm not reading the news, and this is early on, probably like in the end of March or early April. And I went to go drop off a shirt, and the police officer came out, and he just started getting angry at me because I wasn't wearing my mask. Mm-hmm. So this guy is like, "Hey, where's your mask?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't know about it." And he's like, "You don't know about the pandemic?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know I had to wear masks." And then this guy was just so apprehensive that I was thinking to myself, it's like, I'm about to get shot or arrested for not wearing a mask, you know, right across the street from my house. This guy, the thing is, Ernie, you got to understand, like, people are so stressed out that they project their anger on you. Like, you could see it affecting people psychologically.
No question.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you're absolutely right about that. I even see people driving in their car with their windows up with the mask on.
Right. And, you know, I totally understand if you want to be, safe and you want to secure yourself and your family. I understand. It's a pandemic. This virus is very contagious. Totally understand. But you know what's even more contagious? A bad attitude.
Yes. Okay, so what's your take on the toilet paper? Because it still isn't in plentiful stock at the grocery store.
Invest in toilet paper stocks now more than ever. It's the new gold. I think it beat Bitcoin.
Oh, God.
It's amazing. With less restaurants open, less takeout to go, people are doing number twos a little more often.
Yeah, everybody is now scared, and that's probably why they're investing into either that or it's a great marketing ploy. I really think whoever's behind this whole thing, that the Charmin Bear, I think the CEO of Charmin, I think he's manipulating stocks. He's an inside trader. He knew the virus was coming. He's like, how are we going to sell more toilet paper during a pandemic? I know.
Wow.
Let's just buy it. Let's just rebuy everything in bulk and sell it in the underground black market.
I think it's him and Mr. Clean.
Yeah, Mr. Clean's in on it too. All these people we used to look up to.
That's right.
Yeah, correct. And we make that stuff here in the United States, so we were never going to run out of toilet paper. So I don't know who started that rush, but you may be absolutely right. It may be capitalism at its best.
People are now selling toilet paper at like $5 a roll. I think I've seen. I've seen warehouses just stocked up with toilet paper. I visited a friend's house, and their kitchen was full of rolls of toilet paper, like on display for everybody that's visiting our home.
There was a local sushi restaurant that if you ordered sushi, you got a roll of toilet paper with it. So they must have too many of them.
Oh, a sushi restaurant did that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's brilliant.
Well, sushi's really small.
That's awesome.
You bet.
And how about the people throwing gloves all over the place?
People throwing what?
Their gloves. After they take off their gloves, they leave them all over.
Is that a thing? People are still littering?
Yes, they're littering gloves everywhere. That's a big thing to litter.
Who wants to pick those up?
What are gloves supposed to do in the first place, Lainey? They're supposed to protect your hands from getting the germs, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but if you still touch your face with the gloves on, you're still going to get the virus. So it's like, but gloves are like overkill for no reason. It's like, I'm going to protect my hands from not getting the germs. Okay, but if you still touch your face. So whether you're wearing a glove or not, it's the same thing. You're
Don't
just
touch your
preventing you
face.
from touching your face. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's kind of tough to do sometimes when you know you're not supposed to do it. Your eye itches or your nose itches, and you know you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah, I've never been more aware of how many times I touched my face than during the past 3 months, man.
And how many times I stopped saying my birthday while I washed my hands. Supposed to be 20 seconds. It's a long time to wash your hands.
When you have a mustache, you touch your face daily. It scratches, it itches. You got to move the hairs around. It's the worst thing ever. It's like facial hair, us as guys, facial hair is the most dangerous thing to have during a pandemic.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wow, we're having a great time. I want to thank you so much for being on our program today. Tell everybody again, how can they reach out to you? How can they support Miami Comedy? And how do they look for future venues or future shows that you're going to be promoting?
Okay, well, I'd like to say two things to your lovely listeners here. First of all, I want to say thank you to the Scoop on Miami. Ernie and Lainey, you guys have been absolutely amazing. You know, for the little amount of time that we've met, you guys are genuine folks. I really appreciate you having me on here. You guys are doing great in your podcast. Congratulations. Okay, so for the people that are listening, if you love to laugh, MiamiComedy.com is my first project. It was something that I started off as a passion, and it is now my biggest business. So I believe that if I can make comedy make a position for itself here in Miami, you can make anything you want positioned here in our city because there's so much opportunity. Secondly, for all the professionals, visit my second project that I'm currently working on during the pandemic called MiamiNetworking.com. So I know you guys are in real estate. We do virtual networking events, and we talk about our strengths and our capabilities and how we can all collaborate to find opportunities together as professionals. So check out those two websites to see my projects come to life.
It's very inspiring. Everything that you, from the humble beginnings to all your success. I'm really happy for you.
I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations on the podcast.
Thank you. We're having fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
And best of luck.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right,
See you next
take
time.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was fantastic.
Yes, that's why we like to get to know the people in the community, because you don't know their background and their skills and their inspiration. It's really nice to hear.
It really is, and they come out of everywhere.
Yes.
During
we
these...
find you. Even if you're still not answering your phone, we're still looking for you.
Yes, we are, and we want to make sure that that you do answer your phones. We have some great shows lined up. If you want to be part of the Scoop on Miami, you need to move quite rapidly because we are having we're already booking people into June. So that's really exciting. All right, so when we come back, it is the 305's Hidden Treasures. I told Lainey when we came in today, my God, I got so much technology going today. I don't know how we're going to get it all together because we're rebroadcasting to about 8 different platforms at the same time. And
So bear with us.
yeah, we're learning as we go along. That is for sure.
This moment on, consumers will expect it and sellers will demand it. Cinematic video walkthroughs for all of your listings. Professional photography, cinematic video walkthroughs, on-camera video tours, and professional voiceover narration. I'm Ernie Emad, head of BlueHourStudios.com. Blue Hour Studios is a progressive visual and audio powerhouse producing high-end video and audio productions. Become an expert in your field with a professionally produced podcast from our studio in Coral Gables. Call Blue Hour Studios today to elevate your image and voice. BlueHourStudios.com. With hundreds of brokerages, thousands of agents, how do you cut through all the noise? One Premier International Realty, a boutique real estate brokerage located in Coral Gables, doing business the old-fashioned way, putting people first. Buying, selling, or leasing residential and commercial properties in Miami-Dade, Broward, and Monroe counties? One Premier International provides each customer a high level of service and communication experience with full-time agents from around the world bringing their unique sense of business skills and a foreign customer base. One Premier International Realty. You've heard of private banking. Now experience private brokerage, a higher level of service and knowledge. One Premier International Realty, 305-669-0233, or go online to www.onepremierinternational.com.
We're back with more of The Scoop on Miami. Find our podcast on iTunes and on YouTube as a video, our Facebook page, and thescooponmiami.com. While there, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. And now, here's Lady Rada.
All right, welcome back. And we promise that every week we will get better. We're real estate brokers, and at the same time learning all of this new technology and helping the community. So thank you for bearing with us with all of these little quirks and so forth. But every week we just add more technology and more fun that we have. Grant Cardone, Mr. 10X himself, I actually have a 10X sock on today.
All right.
Because during these times, we need to work 10 times harder, make 10 times more calls, correct?
The 10X book was written in 2008 in hard times.
In hard times, so
it's an exact lesson.
You're not kidding. And one of the things that I also want to include in that 10X is have 10 times more fun, right? And I think we're accomplishing all of that right now. So let's 10X it with the 305's Hidden Treasure. And that's one of Lainey's beautiful segments. What do you have on today?
Oh, now it's not one big building. It's a lot of little buildings. Here it comes.
Here it comes. The Hidden Treasures.
And now it's time for the 305. The 305 Hidden Treasures. Hidden Treasures with Lainey Rada.
There's a cluster of historic wood clapboard buildings surrounded by palm trees and lignum vitae. There are 38 rooms and 14 apartments in a cozy compound across the street from the Miami River. Here's where you will find our hidden treasure, the Miami River Inn, located at 118 Southwest South River Drive. It was originally built in 1908 as a Victorian boarding house for laborers. Enter the gates and get lost in a bygone era. It is a classic bed and breakfast that's perfectly located for the tourists just west of downtown in Brickell. It also makes an inviting staycation for the locals. Going inside, you'll find pastel colors, striped wallpaper, white wicker, wainscoting, hardwood floors, even brick and stone fireplaces, all brought to 21st century comfort and operation. Third floor rooms have river views. It feels sleek and modern at the same time. Out back is a beautiful, spacious garden area with a pool and a jacuzzi. It has been painstakingly renovated by two women devoted to preservation in the past 30 years. Sally Jude sold it to the current owner, Avra Jane. Another surprise are the repetitive haunting tales. Witnessed on the first floor of the cottage at 11 at night, the front door opens and feet are heard being wiped on a mat. After that, there's a sound of running feet, panicked rattling of a doorknob, and the sound of someone smashing breakable items. Footsteps are then heard running up the stairs. Then for over an hour, the sound of dragging furniture can be heard. It's an oasis in the urban core that is a great surprise in more ways than one. Go check it out.
Are back. we were just talking about this was like being on a rocket ship, man. This hour just flew.
Yeah, and we don't know all the things about our guests that they tell us, so we really like to hear about it because it's what we're doing this for.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
We are doing it strictly for the community. Let me get the 305's little thing off the TV screen. And as I continue to learn all of these while I do my real estate, I had a closing yesterday and that we were so grateful that finally, after a couple of delays, it finally closed. I have a rental that I'm putting together the lease that they accepted the contract to lease. So despite everything, real estate is moving for those of us that are working full time in real estate and continue continue to work towards taking care of our customers, right, Lainey?
Right. Yes, there are lots of people out there looking.
People wonder.
Everybody's ready to do something. There's always people that have to move.
How do you find the time to do it all? You just make the time. You know what comes first, and you take care of that, and you go step down the line. Look, we have an incredible show next week lined up. And I can remember them all, right? We have the Maya Life people, and Maya Life is a new hemp tea, Miami Life, and they have a special story that we want to share with you in the community, and specifically in today, where hemp and CBD oil and so forth, and we need to kind of calm our nerves and everything. I think that everybody will love the Maya Life program next week, and it's going to be on at the 4:20 mark of our show, so that's also very special. And also after that, we have Jimmy.
Mojo.
Yeah, Jimmy Piedrejita. He is one of the owners of Mojo Donuts. So we're excited to have Mojo Donuts, and I'm going to share my personal Mojo moment with you guys.
Oh, no.
Absolutely. And then we've got some attorneys that are going to be discussing just that, with all of the delays that are going on in closings, what type of addendums, what do you actually need? Obviously, you need a full-time realtor like yourself, like ourselves, and we're always available to take your call. But just in case, you want to make sure that you listen to this, because you're going to get some great information on addendums and verbiage that should be in these contracts to make sure your deposit's protected and that your deal's protected.
Great. So
absolutely. And there's a bunch more coming up week after week.
Yeah.
We're
pretty well booked, and we're putting it together and having a great time.
So don't forget
to
reach out to us. Go to the scooponmiami.com, and you can contact us that way. There's also links for guest links. So all of the businesses that have been here on our program, if you go to the guest links page, there'll be a link for each of those businesses, their phone numbers, as well as their commercials, so you can find out about the business as well. And our live program is also on the scooponmiami.com, as well as all of our podcasts. And this one may be a better one to listen to than to watch again because of all the technical issues. But when we convert it to a podcast, it'll be all cleaned up and it'll all sound great. And that'll be on iTunes a little bit later today, as well as all the other places. Anything else that you want to talk about in closing?
No, I'm Ernie Emad.
And you're not.
So that's it.
Yeah, we're talking about the Chevy Chase, that I'm Chevy Chase and you're not. And so Lainey carried it on. Thank you so much, Lainey, for being part of the Scoop on Miami.
Thank you, Ernie. And we'll see you next Friday at 1 o'clock.
Take care, everyone.
Again.
We hope you were entertained, informed, enriched, and proud to live in Miami. We have come to the end of another episode of the Scoop on Miami, with your host, Ernie Emad, broker, owner of One Premier International Realty, and Lainey Rada, a leading-edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman. Thank you for riding alongside our journey. If you know of a special person doing wonderful things in our community or want your business featured, visit thescooponmiami.com and contact us. Find The Scoop on Miami on iTunes. Subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. While there, leave a comment. We'd love to know what you think. And now you have The Scoop on Miami.